Hello, everyone, and welcome to the GPU podcast, Gamers Process Universe. And I am joined with Shane here today.
Hello, it's episode 3.
Oh yeah, there we go again. We
Third
got several
time's a charm.
guests. Oh, yeah, no, we hope, right? We got several guests to come on this week. Corellia, Jordan, and Ben all have kindly joined us for our discussion topics this week, and we will be covering Seven Deadly Sins, what we think of the anime on Netflix and how it's only on Netflix, which is actually pretty incredible in its own right. Next followed up, Shane, you want to lead us off that?
We're going to talk about movie quotes. I'm not really sure who brought up this topic, but Corellia seems to have a lot to say about that. And I also have a little story to go along with that.
I think everyone in some capacity has something to say about their movie quotes. And if you've seen the movie, you probably have a quote. And then to final it out, we will talk about just a brief general topics of what we enjoy, various things that we're all working on, and what's going on currently in the world, and all the craziness that's with it. It's very general, but we have a lot of things that we're covering in that segment. So hope you will enjoy, and we're going to bring people in now.
Yep.
So starting off, just quickly, Ben, Jordan, anything to say real quick? Introduce yourselves again.
Hiyo, my name is Ben. Welcome to GPU.
And he doesn't normally talk like that. Don't let it fool you.
Yep. Jordan,
I
anything?
have my own identity, Shane.
God, that's like following. God, I was trying to think of a comedian to say, and I can't think of anything.
Trainwreck?
That's fine. All right, and now this week we are joined by our friend Corellia. This is his first time on the show. Well, technically he was on very late on the first episode, saying bye to everyone. But this week he's actually joining us in full. So, Corellia,
Thank you.
We've just got one quick question for you. Have you actually
Absolutely.
listened to the first 2 podcasts we have done so far?
I listened to the first one. I didn't get a chance to listen to the second one.
You know what? I'm impressed because I didn't honestly think you would listen either, and I thought I was going to catch you off guard. So, way to go.
I
I'm
listened to
happy to displease you.
I am happily displeased.
God,
So,
I wish I could say that more often to just random people.
what? I'm happily
why not?
displeased?
I'm happy to displease you. Like, because in all honesty, I've worked in like the food business, like at Sarpino's before, and times like people come into the store, and since COVID, we had to kick them out. And I always have to say the same things, like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Could you please step outside?" And someone will be out there in a minute. And in my mind, I just want to say something along those lines, like, "I'm so happy to displease that guy." It feels great whenever the customer is not always right. Am I right?
Uh-huh.
The customer is often not, in fact, right.
It feels great to just live that feeling.
It's how
It's
it
like-
goes sometimes.
It's a feeling of power that can't be described.
All right. So, off on that note, we will jump into our first topic, Seven Deadly Sins. I have watched every season of the show up until Netflix is currently, there's no more currently available.
Waiting for him.
To watch.
Yep. Right
Should
there
probably
with you.
specify that we're talking about the show Seven Deadly Sins, not the Catholic.
Biblical Seven
Yes,
Deadly
the
Sins.
Netflix
Yeah.
anime.
What? I'm not allowed to enjoy my own Christianity?
I mean,
Well,
you
I can't
are, but that's not what we're talking
I
about.
can't admit my own faults.
I feel like we should clarify at the beginning, so yes, this is the Netflix anime that's currently, I mean, it's been top of Netflix's charts a few times now that I've seen, but from the rough gist of anyone who has no clue what we're talking about, Seven Deadly Sins takes place in Old Britannia, like along the lines of King Arthur's time, and it focuses on these 7 knights that have like insane abilities, super strong. You have a bunch of different types of races that are involved in this anime. So you have giants, you have the fairies, and then you have the angels and demon race, as well as just human race. And so it follows the story of these 7 knights and the princess of the land and their escapades as they go throughout it. And the story gets way farther in depth than I was anticipating. Just immediately after season 1, like season 1 is all like an introduction, and it doesn't feel like an introduction. It feels like this is like the real battle, and then boom, you're thrown into like an even bigger conflict.
Absolutely.
Well, that's mostly how most shows go. Like, the first season is just going to be like basic problem. Like,
Yes, but unlike most shows, the Seven Deadly Sins, all the way up until the last season actually was very good. I think
Mhm.
the last season they was kind of a downer, but it still was actually very good.
And
So
I
wait,
think
has
the
the
last
show
season.
ended, or is it kind of like, or is it still going? Like when you say
It
last season.
it's still going. They're just
Okay.
waiting. They're just
That
waiting for Netflix to release the next chapter.
I get you.
Yeah, and,
Yep.
and to clarify, I'm pretty sure last season, like I also was not a huge fan of last season, but I think it's all because it's building up for the next season. Like there's a
Yeah.
lot of build up and story wise for it.
Yeah.
How many are released? Are they on 4 or 5?
Oh, that was it's kind of hard
I think
because
it
there's
was
like a movie
4. I think it was
and
4.
Give me a second.
yeah,
Give me a
Jordan will
second.
look it up. But in all fairness, like yes, all shows build up and then have this like conflict. But in the show, how they do season 1 is so
Alright.
much more than just like it goes hardcore quickly. You feel like everything matters more than like other shows where it's like, oh, this is just whatever they're learning. But like
Yeah.
they
Alright, so
already are
here's
all seasoned.
here's
So
how it
it's
goes.
different.
We go. The first season is called The Seven Deadly Sins, and then there's a very short, basically 4 episode in between season called Signs of Holy War that basically picks up where the first season ends
And that's
and
all
is
I've
a
seen.
and is a bridge between that and the third season, which is called Revival of the Commandments. That goes through when the demons come into play and really mess stuff up. Then there is the movie, which
Mhm.
is Seven Deadly Sins: Prisoners of the Sky.
Is
Then
the
you
movie
have
canon?
yes,
Yes.
yes.
Why
Like-
why do they do that?
Because sometimes they have enough information that they need to put out there that's not quite enough for like another full season, and they don't want to do a little half season, so they shove it into a movie.
I guess that's
Yeah.
fair, but I come from like I recently finished Naruto with a lot of my friends, and it had the exact opposite problem. There was a ton of movies that just weren't canon.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then there's the final season called Imperial Wrath of the Gods, where things
Which-
really kick off and go nutty.
Which
And
is where
also
they left
keep in
off.
mind,
Yeah.
since Seven Deadly Sins is a Netflix show, like we don't really know anywhere else that I've seen Seven Deadly Sins is watchable. It is very much a binge show. Like you can easily go into this thing and enjoy it as if it's one giant movie. So if you think about it that way, Ben, technically the one movie is like their small short story to throw in between the giant movie.
Did you say binge show?
Binge.
Okay, I heard Ben and I was very confused. Like you used my name as an adjective.
Yes, it's a binge show, clearly.
It happens
But-
all the time. My name's easily confused with other words. Like
Ben,
have you ever
stop
heard of the
benning
word-
it up.
Exactly. Like have you ever heard the word just Ben? Ben? I've confused that name with my name so many times.
To be fair, it's been a long time since you've.
And then not to
Bend it
mention
up.
that like and not to mention everyone uses that as a joke. Like, how have you been? It's just
I literally stopped myself a second ago from saying that.
I
same
knew it.
here.
I knew it.
Thinking the same thing.
I've heard that joke more times. Sorry to get off topic.
It's okay.
I do it.
But yeah, you brought up the point then that I think what makes this show so great is you're thrown into this thing with this like the main characters are like mythic level to begin the show with. They aren't like, oh, you're building up power and like, oh, this is crazy. Like they are portrayed as mythic characters in this show's world. And you
A
see
lot of
like,
shows are the hero's journey, where you start with a nobody and you grow the mythology behind the character as you go. But they started at the end here.
They only do that with one character in there, which is Princess Elizabeth.
yeah, which is kind of crazy. Like she's arguably as powerful in some capacities to like a lot of the show. That's why
Careful.
she stands on her own.
Careful.
We're not going to spoil it too much, I don't think here.
Careful
but
with your wordings.
Yes, basically the rough of it is Naruto and other someone come up with like a show that everyone Avatar Aang. When you see him at the very end of the show and like how awesome he is in Legend of Korra, where he is just this massive figure, that is all 7 of the 7 deadly sins from the get-go. And so it's crazy that that's their first season. It's like you already think they're insane. You already are so impressed every time you see a new member of the troop come in. You're just like, whoa, this person is insanely powerful.
One thing way I liked how they did it was the fact that they didn't even bring all 7 of them in the first season. They had to hold. They had to hold off because one of them is oh my god, ungodly powerful, and if they would have brought him in, it just would have made everything
Easy.
boring because he just would have walked over everything.
That is what I wanted to get to is the one sin that was not introduced season 1 at all,
Womp,
besides like
womp.
a mythicness to his character.
Yeah.
Escanor. Escanor is
Wait,
ridiculous.
Wait. Spoiler warning for anyone who hasn't watched it.
Yeah,
You may continue.
yeah, that's
Yeah, okay, fine. We are getting into spoiler territory
Why
here.
I'm here.
But this will go into our next subject quickly here. Not too long, but along the lines, he has insane quotes. He's the king of one-liners in the sense that you look at him, you hear him talk, and you respect everything.
I sit at the pinnacle of all races.
And he backs it up every time.
He does. Well, of course. You have Gallant go into his overpower mode and full on swing and buries his axe like maybe an inch into his side, and he looks at him just like, that's all.
Just like you see these people build up all their power, and they just like they're feathers in front of him, and that's why the show is good. Is because it builds up these insane characters, and it's not like he's invulnerable. Like he's not the most insane, invincible thing ever. There's definitely drawbacks to all of them, but they're thought out, and it's very clean and well done.
I'm trying to remember which 6 are introduced in the first season, but I can't remember which one Escanor would be.
Escanor
He's
is
the
the
lion
son of Pride.
Pride, okay. Also, to go back to what you were saying about them all being amazing, now that I'm thinking about it, I was kind of underwhelmed by most of them when I first saw them because they were so hyped up and then they were just kind of people.
I can understand that to a certain degree. They are. It's a hard dynamic you build when you build a cast that's like really, really powerful, and yet you have to fight against all these things. And what I would say about the first season is literally only 3 of them, I think, in the whole cast actually give a darn, like try it all in the first season.
But like the giant, I don't remember which one she is.
Deanne.
Yeah, Deanne.
She was kind of a crybaby almost.
Yeah.
And the one that was in the suit of armor, he was super cool until the armor came off.
Gother.
Yeah, Gother.
Well, Gother actually never
he gets
wore.
cool again. He gets
Gother
cool
actually.
again, don't worry.
Gother never actually wore his armor because it was another demon that he gave the armor to.
Oh yeah, right. But like they make you think that the person who's in the armor is the Sin.
Gother. Yeah.
And I was like, that person's so cool. And then
I would
Guess
say
not.
the first season is a lot of like I hype up the first season. The first season even isn't by far the good stuff. Like season 3 is whenever you get into the meat and potatoes of how good the show can be, in just story driven aspects and also power aspects.
So basically, I stopped right before it got really good.
Yes, I would say so.
Classic.
I would highly encourage you to watch it. I have not spoiled enough for you to not watch it at this
Even
point.
if you do spoil it, it's not like a huge time sink. It's pretty short, right?
Even if you get spoilers, you're still gonna be like, oh my god, I have to go actually see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I think Deanne is like one of the ones that I don't enjoy her story as much as the others.
Yeah.
But
her and King.
Yeah, but then again, King also, there's a lot of stuff that goes into them with the newest season that I think is worthwhile. So while it doesn't focus, like I feel like they're like how would you say it? They're the episodes in the anime what that are not story driven. What do you guys? Someone help me out with the name of
Filler.
those.
Filler?
Yes, they're filler in the group. They're group filler, but by the time you're done with them, I think they're worthwhile filler.
Yeah, even some of the, not even the sins, just some of the holy knights that they introduced.
mhm.
Yeah, it's It's an odd show in certain ways, but I think that's why I like it so much. It's so different. So, that's my 2 cents into all this. Obviously, I gave more of my 2 cents. But I tried to best explain this to people who may not have seen this, such as Ben, who
Yes.
has not seen any of it. I don't know how good of a job I did. Is there any questions you have, Ben, actually, to like? I'm
In
sure
all
if there's
honesty,
viewers.
you guys were just saying a bunch of words about the show, and here's the thing about like talking about shows. Unless I'm like actively like know what I'm talking about, usually I forget a lot what I hear. Like even when I was watching Naruto, like my three friends in the background, they would be talking about the show all the time, and apparently one of them uttered the biggest spoiler of the entire show, who like this person's actually this person, and I just didn't know. I didn't even hear it. Like I heard it, but it just didn't register in my head.
That's how it goes, really.
Like that's the exact same thing that's happening here. Like you guys are just saying names and stuff, and I'm just thinking, yeah, that's a person.
especially foreign names for me. Like if I don't have a face and a character to attach the name to, it doesn't even it's not a word to me, basically.
Yeah, and not to
Mm.
mention, like, I'm just really bad at remembering names. Like, you said one name, like, I don't even remember what it was, but the only name that I can closely, like, put it to, like, did you call a guy, like, Escobar or something?
Escanor.
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 Yeah, so, yeah.
God,
I now
you
have this
weren't even
image
paying
of,
attention.
I now have this image of Pablo Escobar as Escanor.
No. Guys, allow me to at least defend
Explains how
myself.
he escaped.
Yeah, like, if I were to just... Shane, you can back me up. I'm terrible with names.
Yep.
I call Shane Enrico all the time.
Not
God,
even
that's gotta piss
close.
him off.
Exactly. And they're not even close names. The fact I even remembered, I don't even remember his name again. Escobar? I mean,
Dear
uh,
God, boy.
I mean,
Escanor.
Escanor. There's a nor at the end.
okay, well, I'm just guaranteeing you I'm not going to remember that name.
It's fine. You should still watch the show. I highly encourage it.
Yeah, like,
Absolutely.
I think there was a part in, like, Pikmin 3 where, like, this weird creature, like, it was called the Quaggled Myreclops,
Oh,
and I don't know
not this
what...
again.
Yeah, Shane, we're going
Wait,
back to
you
there.
even knew the name. You
Yeah, I
just
knew the
said it.
name. Yeah, no, I know that name. But then when we got to Dark Souls 3...
Can't believe this.
Oh my God.
Then there was this giant, weird-looking tree monster, and I couldn't remember its name. Now I know it's the Cursed Rotted Greatwood, but at the time I just called it the
Cursed
Quaggle.
Rotted. It's not cursed. It's curse.
Cursed. Okay, fine, Cursed Rotted Greatwood. But at the time I just called it the Quaggled Myreclops. Apparently,
So,
it pissed Shane off to no end.
Quaggle Myreclops is so this we jumped from Seven Deadly Sins to Pikmin 3 to Dark Souls.
Yes.
Welcome to Ben's mind.
Yes.
Okay, just clear.
It's a Quagmire in there.
Yeah, like the Escanor to Escobar is Curse Rotted Greatwood to Quaggled Myreclops. Like there is a direct line of thought there.
Okay.
I could draw it with a marker.
Okay.
I don't know about direct, but there is a line. It's
I
just
think we have exhausted that aspect of Seven Deadly Sins. Is there anything, Corellia, Jordan, you two are the ones that have watched all of it. Is there anything you guys want to bring up next on this, or do we want to move on to our next talking point?
No, I ain't really got much more to say on it without
yeah.
massive retarded spoilers. So.
Exactly. All I can say is, for everybody who's listening out there, if you haven't seen it,
It's a recommend.
It is a great action-packed with not very many dull points.
I would say this though, it is not for very small children.
No, it is. It is very kind of risque in the drawings. Not so much what they wear, but the way some of the characters are drawn.
Yeah,
and
Meliodas is a huge pervert.
Yes,
there's
there's
a line.
Large amount of boob fondling.
Yes,
boob fondling, butt grabbing, and sticking head in the crotch.
As just me talking, I was easily able to look away anytime it was something that I was not comfortable with.
Yes, avert your Christian eyes, your innocent eyes, John. Don't look.
But it was all in English, so it's like I could still listen to it, and I knew when the cues were like the conversation or something went away from something that was a little questionable.
But everything that Meliodas does, you come to the realization of why as you watch.
I still don't think I personally want to go there, but it makes sense in Meliodas' character, so even the small details in the show come to mean something, which is also another reason why it's a good show.
And it's on Netflix, just to reiterate that.
Yep.
Yeah, so go watch it on Netflix. We're not sponsored by any of this, but we're saying to do it.
If we ever
Well,
get a
we wouldn't
Netflix
say no
sponsorship,
to a sponsorship.
that'd be nice.
I mean, yeah, no, just
Especially from Netflix.
sponsors. You know?
Oh yeah.
Call us.
That's a big sponsor.
Cross
That'd be
Netflix.
awesome.
Yeah.
Our tiny
Listen,
little podcast getting
This
Netflix
episode is
sponsored.
brought
That'd
to
be
you in part
great.
by Netflix.
Netflix.
I mean, that first YouTube video had like
Wait,
20 views,
wait.
right?
Wait, can we
Wait,
get a
we got
Ben?
20
Yeah.
Wait,
views?
can we get a
Yeah.
Ben and Jerry's sponsorship?
I will hawk ice cream. No questions asked.
Can we get
Wait,
Ben
hold-
and Jerry's?
Okay.
Okay, we're going to continue on to the next talking point here, and
Okay.
maybe Ben and Jerry's will come up again. In fact, I can guarantee it comes up again because there's something I actually liked in one movie about it. So
I
next
actually
point,
want that a
movie
flamingo,
quotes.
and I called that flamingo. Okay, sorry. Movie quotes is the next topic, but I just gotta
Yes.
say, like, I in high school I used to have a like one of those lawn flamingos, and I named it Jerry, and I took it to every football game, and it became like the mascot of our marching band.
Because
You
you're
learn
Ben,
something new
so
about Ben.
Ben and Jerry. I get it. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
My God. All right, continuing on to movie quotes. Go.
Yes. All right. Going into the movie quotes sector. So what I'm thinking we can do here is everyone can list off their favorite movie quote, and if we want to go in more like you want to bring up another one that really comes to mind, go ahead and we can also expound more on movie quotes in general or what we think of someone's preferred choice. So that's
I
how
know a
think
good
it
one.
should go.
Yeah.
Say what the quote is, and then we'll see if anyone else can guess what it's from.
Mm,
There you
there
go.
we go. Okay.
God.
That's not fair for mine, but that's good.
I mean, you don't have to like make a huge game out of it. Just see if we can do it.
No, I
Yeah.
dig this. You know what? I like games.
Yeah. All right.
I have a
So
good one.
guess
to
that
start.
movie quote. Shane, go ahead.
I see now that the circumstances of one's birth are irrelevant. It is what you do with
Okay.
the gift of life that determines who you are.
Okay, Mewtwo.
Yep. you
Wait,
got it.
is this from like? Is this from Detective Pikachu?
No, it's from the
No.
first Pokemon movie.
I'm sorry, both had Mewtwo in it, and both had Mewtwo talking. So
It's
you
from the
know,
good one with Mewtwo.
okay, just to clarify, you know,
It's hilarious that the most philosophical quote almost of all movies comes from an animated movie about Pokemon.
Yeah, if you just
Beautiful.
subtract Mewtwo from that whole thing, that's like a really good.
That's like
Uh,
an Aristotle level quote.
I don't know if I go that far, but it's quality.
It's a good quote. That's all I'm saying.
I've never seen that movie, so
Do you know what it's vaguely about, other than Pokemon?
I mean, isn't it like they're tracking Mewtwo's origin or something?
Yeah, you can kind of say that. It's the origin is like a. It's not the point of the movie. It's the start of the movie, but it's not the point.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, Mewtwo breaking out of the lab and everything, right?
The point of the movie is that Mewtwo was created by people and then abused by them, and then he grew to hate them. And by the end of the movie, he says at that quote where it doesn't matter the circumstances of your birth, it's what you do with what you have that makes you who you are.
You know,
Basically, it's him overcoming the trauma of humans.
Since you're saying this is the end of the movie, I feel like we should just say it as a general thing. Spoilers are more than likely going to happen at any point during this time. Just to
Yes,
give
sorry for
fans a heads
spoiling
up.
this 20-year-old movie.
Just saying, like, you know, it's okay, Shane. In all fairness, Wheel of Time is like almost
not a
20 plus
movie.
year olds.
It's a book.
No, but I'm saying like books. Like you don't spoil books, you don't spoil those things, but you can still quote them and things. It's same principle. No matter how old something
Pokemon,
is,
it's
you can
not-
still.
Okay, on Shane's end, yeah, I mean, in all honesty, I haven't seen the Pokemon movie either, but at the same time, like,
You knew the quote.
yeah, I knew the quote.
Okay, never mind. My point's invalid. Continue on with.
I get your
These
point,
things.
though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I get you. Because of that exact same thing. What was that movie? The one where I see dead people. What was that movie called?
Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense.
Yeah, Sixth Sense.
Yeah, Sixth Sense.
And-
I'm pretty sure the ending of that movie was spoiled to me for the exact same reason.
Oh,
like-
that sucks because the ending of that movie is fantastic.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
no.
really easy to spoil, too.
I'm not
Yeah.
even gonna lie. Like, it was a great movie, even though I kind of knew what the ending was.
If you want to talk about a spoiler that is like bigger than like, and so this is the same level of well, So you got Star Wars. I'm gonna jump here real quick, just side tangent. You have Darth Vader and the giant spoiler of he is Luke's father, and then you have the even bigger thing.
Spoiler
where-
alert.
Le gasp.
But you have the bigger side of it, where you see the flip side of little kids growing up that saw it 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6, did not know that Anakin was Vader.
I'm pretty sure
They
that
saw 3 and they didn't realize that he was Vader.
No, I'm saying like at the end of 3, you find out he's Vader, and like that's a huge like.
I think it was the end of
change.
the second movie. That
No,
he's
it's
Vader.
end of 3. End
But
of
if you
3, he's
hadn't
Vader.
seen 4, 5, and 6, you wouldn't have any context for who Vader is.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, so think about it from my perspective of I watched movie 4 and then 1, 2, because they were on TV. And then I saw 5, 6 and was blown away whenever 3 came out. Like I knew who Vader was because I'd seen 6.
Wow, you're
But-
all screwed up.
Yeah,
I-
well,
I
I mean,
saw-
it was
I knew who Vader was just because of the general quote, like "Luke, I am your father." Like, it was kind of easy to piece it together.
I mean,
whenever
yeah,
you
but
f-
like it's just
But if you
there's
have kids
different
who
levels
are,
there.
you have kids who aren't like early teenagers nowadays, and if they watch it, they're gonna start with episode 1.
I say you should start with episode 4.
You should, but the way they released it, people are going to start with 1 because they just don't know.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, I guess.
I
that's
mean, we
fair.
all know that if we I mean, Curly, I'm assuming your kid, you've started him on 4 like a good person does.
I tried. My kid actually didn't get into Star Wars.
Oh, Sunday.
He's a sports kid.
I
He's
get
probably
that.
better off for it.
Yeah, I mean, in some aspects, yeah, we're in nerd culture right now, so it's everything has its good in due time.
But like, you don't have to
Um,
be disappointed by the bad parts of Star Wars, which I feel like there's more bad than good at this point.
Oh, we don't need to open that
Yeah.
bag of worms, really.
Yeah,
My
let's
son's
just.
Exactly,
big-
but
We
you don't-
are
Off
back off
topic.
topic, gentlemen.
better off for it.
Let-
Back to
Here,
movie.
here's the
quote.
movie quote. You were the chosen one, Star Wars, and it's all over.
I got me a movie quote. I got 2, but I'm gonna do 1 just because I like
Alright.
it better.
Got
All
it.
right.
What's the matter, Colonel Sanders? Chicken?
Spaceballs.
You just
Damn
totally
right.
you just totally went down my road. I was Spaceballs is like one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, Spaceballs is. I don't know how to describe it. It's just perfect comedy.
Oh yeah.
It is.
Like the part where they look up where they are by pulling up Spaceballs the movie, like that
Yes.
fourth wall breaking humor that is so genius.
That
Oh,
that was
yes.
actually my second. Well, it's a set
Yes.
of quotes. What the hell am I looking at? When does this happen in the movie? Now.
Mhm.
You're looking at now, sir. Everything that happens now is happening now. Go back to then. What? Then. I can't. Why not? We passed it. When? Just now. When will then be now? Soon.
Soon.
How
This is
soon?
a jumble of quotes that are both
this
fantastic and so like,
You
man,
can't
I feel
help.
like
I mean, Spaceballs has the best one-liners, pretty much. Well, movie quotes ever. I mean,
all
you could
right.
go-
I got the one up here, and I'm gonna say my movie quote then.
All right.
You seem like a decent fellow. I hate to kill you. You seem like a
Oh.
decent fellow. I hate to die.
Yeah, I was literally looking up Princess Bride quotes. Like it's literally on my computer right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anybody want a peanut?
That was
It's-
one of them.
You cannot like Spaceballs is a good movie for quotes in all types. Like it is a fantastic movie, but it cannot hold a candle compared to the massive quotable movie that is Princess Bride.
I'd actually
Ah.
argue that they're on the same level, but for different reasons.
I would
agreed.
as well.
Okay, agreed. And there is one more movie that I would put up with them for quotes.
Okay.
And
You
your
wanna say it?
mother was a hamster, and your father smelled of
Okay.
elderberries.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
are the knights who say
Okay,
It's just a
there's
flesh wound.
So there's
We
a
are
letter
French.
in Japanese characters called that is literally Ni, ni. So
Yep.
every time I see it, the only way I ever correlated that letter is with that noise is because it's literally a square, and I'm like, huh, maybe it looks like the helmets of the knights who say ni.
now.
It worked
Now,
perfectly.
along the lines of good old Monty Python, there is a another famous Monty Python movie quote that I think everyone can recognize.
Oh no, yeah,
Oh.
we know.
I have
it.
a good friend in Rome, called Biggus Dickus.
Yup.
He has a wife, you know.
Oh goodness
You
gracious.
know what her name is? Incontinentia. Incontinentia buttocks.
Like, oh my god.
All right.
Yeah, like, the Monty-
So
I think-
please explain to me why Princess Bride and Spaceballs and Monty Python, like, I can understand they're all great movie quotes. I still hold Princess Bride in a slightly higher regard. That's just personally me, though.
No, like Princess
So-
Bride has like they tried harder and it was a quality story where they actually put in like effort. So that's
yeah.
why it's probably on the same level as two movies that just didn't give a flying fart and
Mhm.
just pumped it full of humor. Like they're on the same level because of different reasons.
I'd
One
say
is
it's
just completely
different
ridiculous.
humor.
Well, Princess Bride really it had humor, but it wasn't a humorous movie, and we remember it for that like classic romantic fantasy setting.
Well,
But
that's
we
why I think
remember-
it's a high regard, because it did
Yes.
humor on top of everything else, whereas the other two movies were for the purpose of humor.
Exactly.
And they did it
like,
well.
This movie has a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, so I'm not arguing that it was a great movie. However, you look at Monty Python, who every scene is so completely ridiculous. That's why it sticks in your head. Like you go from one movie and they have a Trojan bunny, then you go to the next scene and then there's a bunny ripping out people's necks. Like,
And then
It-
they
A
pull
Volvo
out the
bunny.
greatest weapon known to movie history.
oh yes,
The
Holy
Spanish
Hand
Inquisition?
Grenade.
Oh
Ah, yes.
I
No
didn't
one
expect
expects
that.
the Spanish Inquisition.
Do you think
It's
the
such a
Spanish
good-
Inquisition is the one who supplied the Holy Hand Grenade?
Oh, definitely. Want to know why? Because no
Why?
one would expect it.
Oh yes.
Yes.
My friend Enrico, he can literally quote the scripture that they wrote for the Holy Hand Grenade.
I
Like,
have it pulled up right here.
Thank
I-
you.
I
Like
want
I
to
have that little quip that they do.
before you bring that up real quick, because please feel free to read the whole thing because it's great.
Oh, I will.
But there's something that is interesting. And this is not to reflect, like, I like Spaceballs a fair amount, but the scores that I'm looking at these movies, so I will give Monty Python and the Holy Grail the due it's given, because it on Rotten Tomatoes is basically the exact same as Princess Bride.
Really?
But Spaceballs is a 58%, 83%. It is below in both characterizations. So Princess Bride and Monty Python, by majority ruling in both the actual freshest meter and the audience score, are almost identical. Versus Spaceballs, it's like way lower tier. And I would argue it's probably because Spaceballs is a different audience and it's a more niche audience than the other two, because you don't have to see Olive Grail to appreciate it. And Princess Bride is a wide audience type movie.
I think another
So-
part of that is that Spaceballs was directly parodying Star Wars, whereas
yeah.
the other, whereas Princess Bride wasn't really a parody at all,
Yeah.
and Monty Python was parodying like the genre, not a specific title.
Yeah.
That is
And-
fair.
another reason I would say Spaceballs, or on the topic of Spaceballs parodying Star Wars so much, they couldn't even have merch for that movie, which is why they have that scene in there with Yogurt talking about the merch. That merch you see in that scene, is the only merch that exists for Spaceballs, and they're not allowed to sell it.
Really?
Probably like the
And
most
did anybody ever
insanely-
notice though, if you watch Spaceballs when they're doing that scene, when he's going through the whole spiel, he holds up the Spaceballs, the comic book. Did anybody ever notice who was actually on the cover of that comic book?
Who?
No.
Optimus Prime.
Nice.
I want to point out one more thing with the Spaceballs. There's a meme going on around because of Spaceball coming out, and everyone was like, "Oh, look, it's Spaceballs!" And like they started like pointing at the new Star Wars sequels and like all of the things about them that's basically a ripoff of Spaceballs, is what they're saying.
Oh no.
Oh, Jarl. That gives me an
What?
idea
What?
from my stream.
Oh, okay.
We'll talk about it later.
All right.
So that's my Jordan. Please go into reading us this great quote.
All right, so this is the quote from the movie. So starts off with King Arthur speaking. How does it work? I know not, my liege. Consult the screwed up already. Consult the Book of Armaments, Armaments chapter 2 verse 9 through 21. And Saint Attila raised the hand grenade up on high, saying, O Lord, bless this thy hand grenade, that with it thou mayst blow thine enemies to tiny bits in thy mercy. And the Lord did grin, and the people did feast upon the lambs and sloths, and carp and anchovies, and orangutans, and breakfast cereals, and fruit bats, and large. And skip a bit, brother. And the Lord spake, saying, First shalt thou take out the holy pin, then shalt thou count to 3, no more, no less. 3 shall be the number thou shalt count, and the number of the counting shall be 3. 4 shalt thou not count, neither count thou 2, excepting that thou then proceed to 3. 5 is right out. Once the number 3, being the third number, be reached, then lobest thou thy holy hand grenade of Antioch towards thy foe, who, being naughty in my sight, shall snuff it. Amen. Right.
Like,
Goodness
1,
gracious.
2, 5, 3, sir. 3.
like someone sat down and wrote biblical scripture for a hand grenade.
Yep.
And
Mhm.
they
Let's
put
also point out that the person who threw the grenade has the same memory as Ben.
Yeah,
exactly.
Good old King Arthur.
Like, I think that's why that movie is so amazingly quoted. They put little and tons of effort into it at the same time.
They ran out of money at the end, and the ending is like great but terrible.
like,
Everyone just gets arrested.
I'm pretty sure, to quote Shane on this one, it's almost not even possible to know. Like, not that it's surprising whenever someone puts in so little effort and so much effort into something at the same time, and it's just great.
I would put it on like the same levels. Like you see someone who like is just getting into like movie making or graphics, and they have a fun story, they have a fun cast, but man, they do not have the budget or ability to do well. But they are gonna give their best effort, and they know it's gonna be terrible in the end.
Yeah, like, and I think that low quality actually made the movie even better. Like,
Oh, without a doubt, yes.
yeah, like I don't even know how they did it, but the low quality just made the movie so much more comedic.
Yeah.
And-
Well, back then, I mean, it just.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna say like back then CGI and all that stuff didn't really exist. It did exist, but maybe not to the degree that like today.
It was impressive regardless.
Yeah.
All right. So we've had Shane's, we've had Jordan's. I said mine. Ben or Corellia, you want to say one?
Start with Corellia. All of mine have been taken.
Yep, same thing.
Oh, gosh.
That's exactly it.
Oh goodness.
Okay.
I do have one more.
Okay, Shane, please go ahead.
Okay, just to preface this, I feel like reference humor is kind of a low form of humor, but also I can't stop doing it. So, there's that. And the one time I'm truly proud of my referential humor is I was helping my grandpa cut wood for his wood-fired furnace, and we were taking the tractor down a forest trail to get to the wood that we were cutting, and I was driving the tractor, and I was not very good at driving the tractor.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a certain part of the trail where I barely made it past this tree. And then I went like a glove.
Ace Ventura.
Exactly. And
I
yeah,
actually have not seen Ace Ventura, but I
and
know
my
the
uncle
quote.
who showed
My
me Ace
God.
Ventura just about died laughing.
Wait,
And then
was that our
and then-
dad?
Yeah, it was your dad.
Wait, why did it say our dad? My dad.
Was that
You're not my
our
brother?
dude?
This is our
My,
movies.
my uncle Ben's dad. There we go. Anyway, he just about died laughing because he was the one that showed me Ace Ventura. It was great. I'm still proud of that one.
Oh,
Oh man, one of my I think movie quotes are, and they're not necessarily like, okay, they're low form in the sense like you're not really being like creative yourself, you're just copying someone else, but at the same time like they're if you get someone who gets the reference, they're that much more impressive and that much more better if you can fit them in to a natural settings easily.
Right, but people don't. Like that's
it's
a
a-
very niche subsection of their use case. which is either the person who you're referencing to doesn't know, or it was really ham-fisted and isn't that funny.
I mean, I like them regardless in any case because one, I just do it because it's fun, or the one where they don't understand. All of a sudden, hey, you should see this movie. It's a great movie. I this brings me to a story of I was hanging out with some coworkers and something went very wrong and like this wasn't coworkers, sorry. This was some friends and like we all got like in a big wreck, like someone fell on top of someone else and we all just kind of piled over each other and we're like, oh shoot, everything went wrong basically. And I proceeded to in that moment be like, Sanka, you dead man? And like was someone across the room to me, like watch this all happen. He's like, yeah man, I'm dead. I'm like, what the heck? I didn't think they would actually pick up on it.
Yeah, if when someone else like finishes your quote, that makes it like 3 times better.
It is pinnacle the movie quote experience.
Yeah.
Yes.
And just to
But
be
I-
clear, I do it all the time too, even when it's ham-fisted. I just have cognitive dissonance going on with it.
Yeah.
You're just like, I'm doing this. I know it's not that great, but I'm doing this.
I can't
I
stop
think
it.
I think when I was a kid though, I was heavily influenced by movies and video games and stories and all that stuff, so much so that it defined a lot of who I am today. But like whenever it came to my senior year of high school, I wanted to like commemorate that. So in the engraving of my high school ring, I put down a Lord of the Rings quote that I hope to like basically to guide like who I am as a person.
What was the
and
quote?
All right,
The
yeah, let's
quote
hear
was
this quote.
the quote was from Samwise Gamgee, and it was does anyone remember the entire quote or the entire story from Sam's speech from the end of the second movie?
Is this the one where they're like on the side of the mountain and about to give up, and Sam's giving the pep talk, like the
Yeah, Sam's like
continue on?
given the whole like this is like these are like the stories that we used to hear as kids. It's like you always didn't want to know the end because how could the end be happy? Well, at the end of that quote, the end of that speech, he says because there's some good in this world, Mr. Frodo, and that's worth fighting for. And I was like, you know what?
I have the whole quote right here if you want me
Yeah,
to
no,
go ahead
I
with
could
stuff.
probably read it from memory. I'm just trying to keep it I'm just trying to keep this quick. But I
Okay.
have in my ring, the engraving is there's some good in this world, and that's how I want to live my life. So that's the other idea that behind movie quotes, they can really inspire if you say them right.
Just
There-
like me too.
Exactly. Like it's some quotes just kind of hit in a different way.
Well, I mean, not same principle, different type of level. Remember the Titans, and you will make them all remember the night they fought the Titans. Like you have these quotes that are super powerful to people when they hear them, and they can remember them in moments of struggles and moments where life is going crazy, and moments where they're just thinking about deep things, and they can pull out these movie quotes and find meaning in them beyond what
Or
the
when
people
you
who
find
wrote
a
them originally.
sick parking spot. Like a glove.
Like a glove.
You really need to watch Ace Ventura. Just saying.
I
Yeah,
do.
yes.
I agree with this assessment.
I haven't seen the second one, the Called the Wild. Is that one any good?
I liked it better than the first one.
Really?
What's the first one? So
Pet Detective.
And the
Ace
second
Ventura,
one is When
Pet
Nature
Detective.
Calls.
okay, gotcha.
It was pretty good.
So those are the movies I need to watch.
It's
Or at
peak
least
Jim
the first
Carrey.
one.
Yeah, not gonna
Peak
lie. it is
Jim
good.
Carrey. Oh, Jim Carrey, that man, he's a legend.
Jim Carrey had some pretty good stuff. Like I'm trying to remember. Bruce Almighty. Like,
Yeah.
that was a great.
Had are we forgetting the #1 movie of 2020, Sonic the Hedgehog?
I haven't seen that one. Like I really wanted to, but I never had the time.
Okay, hold up. Because that just made me remember my favorite quote from that movie. Alright.
Yes, please. I know what you're
Giant
saying.
spoiler flag.
For Sonic.
Yes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Reconnaissance. Yes.
Yep.
My favorite is "How are you not dead yet?"
That is also good. But I like reconnaissance a lot.
I wouldn't say
It is-
Reconnaissance is a spoiler because it needs context to make sense. And
I honestly
that
don't
is
remember
true.
it, so you're good. If I don't remember it, then
I
it's not.
remember it. It was right at the end, man. It was perfect.
Oh,
Alright.
oh, never mind. I
Yeah.
remember it now.
Gosh.
You had this.
Boy
just-
don't remember nothing.
Excuse me. Do
Boy,
not say this as I've said multiple movie quotes tonight.
Boy, don't
I had to
know nothing,
remove
man.
my headphones because I was too scared of quotes being, ruined for me.
It's not ruinable, really. It
Yeah,
No,
requires
neither of
not,
them were
not
ruined.
spoilable, but like if I hear the quote and then like I see the movie and then I hear the quotes, it's not gonna hit as hard,
It'll
That's
be in the
fair.
last couple seconds of the viewing time. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone
But-
got any more quotes?
Right, I
Yeah.
got quotes.
share the load, Mr. Frodo.
Gosh dang it.
Share
Okay.
the load.
Okay, I got one.
'Kay.
Who is but the form following the function of what, and what I am is a man in a mask?
V for Vendetta.
Yes.
That's a good one too.
Haven't seen that one either.
That's a really good one. You should see that too.
It's by far my favorite movie. Like, I watch Lord of the Rings every single year with my friends, and that's a really good time, but I watch V for Vendetta as much as I can remember to on the 5th of November every year. Like, it is, like, almost peak movie.
As Enrico would say, it is a quality feature film.
It's, because it's like a superhero film, but not really.
I wouldn't even say it is a superhero film.
He was a comic. Like, there was a comic for V for Vendetta, I think.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's a superhero
I
at all.
suppose that's fair. It has kind of that vibe.
I
though.
would label him more of an anti-hero,
Okay,
if
yeah.
anything.
And even putting it in the context of hero versus villain, it doesn't make sense for the story.
All right,
to me.
I will put it in terms of D&D alignment. He is a true chaotic neutral character.
Yeah.
No,
Or would you call him chaotic good?
chaotic good.
Okay.
Because he does a lot of good for people, even though he spreads chaos doing it.
he does have the best of intentions, really.
Yeah, he wants the world to be in the people's hands.
And he introduced me to Eggy in a basket.
Okay, yeah, I remember when Curtis made that all the time.
So, continuing on this train of movie quotes, there's also this other side of movie quotes that have come out in the last 5 years, I would say, roughly, that have been big. And I'd say this has been like an internet thing for a while now, but it's become bigger, is movie quotes becoming memes.
Yes.
It's like, you have, for instance, the biggest memes I can think of are Thanos memes of his movie quotes. It's like, perfectly balanced as all things should be, and like all memes came with that. Or it's like, look at you, all this that you've done, and what has it done? It's brought you back to me.
Yeah, there's like a lot of quotes have a lot of meme potential. Like, I'm pretty sure the first ever meme I heard of JoJo was "It was me, Dio," and like that scene has no memeable qualities, but the internet just cashed in.
They lost it. Yeah.
Like, it's hilarious. Like, there's so many memes on the internet of just Dio's face just on something else. Like, I'm gonna look up one.
You may have outsmarted me, but I've outsmarted your outsmarting.
I just thought of 2 more quotes that I like.
I also thought of a couple more as well.
I just thought of one too.
Okay, Corellia goes first.
Yeah, Carolee, go ahead.
What were you expecting? Yellow spandex?
Wait. I don't know why, but I want to say Men in Tights.
No.
No, but that's also a good movie with good quotes.
What?
It very well
I
was
lost?
too.
I'm not supposed to lose. Someone give me the script.
Yes. Okay, but we need to figure out what were you expecting? Yellow
It sounds
spandex.
familiar, but
I know it's on the tip of my mind is like going through archives of stuff. Right
Kill
now.
Bill?
You're gonna
It's not Kill Bill, it can't
when
be.
you hear it, you're gonna be like, "Ah."
Power
What is it?
Rangers?
Nope.
No, it's like, is it? It's not animated, is it?
Nope.
No. Okay,
Oh, it has to be like a superhero parody. So
was it recent?
No.
Is it older than us?
We're in our 20s, by the way, for reference, Corellia.
You would
You
know
know.
it though. You should still know it.
Oh man.
Do y'all give up?
I was about to look it up, but I'm not gonna be that.
First,
Yeah, that's not fair.
The first X-Men movie.
Oh my goodness!
Oh,
I was gonna go X-Men because I was thinking Deadpool, and I was like,
Wolverine
it's
Yeah.
coming out in
Wolverine,
the
okay.
combat suit,
Yep.
yeah,
And
it
then-
had to be Wolverine.
and then Cyclops looking at him funny, and he references the X-Men anime
I love it.
because Wolverine wore yellow
Yeah.
spandex.
That's honestly genius.
Um, I thought you would
And
put
we-
two and
we
two
actually-
together, Yarl,
Yeah,
because of the meme I put on Discord the other day.
I have seen that movie. I have seen that movie once, and that was when I was but a wee child.
But do you
keep in
remember
mind, I would say X-Men. So X-Men, the first one, very good. I actually, my favorite one is X-Men. First Class is my favorite of the X-Men movies. But X-Men, and if you look at the overall X-Men movies, and you look at what kids will now have today growing up, I don't think many of them will even bother trying to watch the X-Men movies.
It's kind of a mess of a series.
I think the
It's a-
first one and the first one was amazing. The second one was okay, and I heard my dad say he doesn't like the third one.
The third one is pretty trash. Yeah,
You can not watch it, and you'll be better off for it, in my opinion.
they literally retcon it, don't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's retconned in the series on
Yeah.
very like intentional purpose. It's that
Yeah.
bad. The point I'm trying to make is like there's all these quotes we're gonna know and we're gonna love, and Corellia, you liked that quote obviously enough that it's like you thought of it when it was movie quotes like top picks. But then the flip side is like any kids born now will not even look twice at the X-Men movies because they're going to have, oh, there's X-Men, or you could watch the MCU. And they'll probably want to watch the MCU and not invest in X-Men at all because X-Men, by the point that those kids born now or are around the age to watch these movies, the X-Men are going to be in the MCU in the next coming 10 years, more than likely.
Is that confirmed or assumed?
Well, Fox bought them. So, or not Fox, Disney bought Fox, so they own everything now. If
So-
they don't put them in the Disney MCU universe, they're kind of missing out on a giant cash out opportunity. In my
Well,
opinion.
how are they going to get them in there?
Yeah, they've already established that universe as having.
The only way I can see them getting them in there is they have basically confirmed the Spider-Verse.
Oh yeah, that's true. If they multiverse it up, then yeah.
They
they can get
actually
them in there,
already
but-
confirmed. This is how much do I don't know how much I trust this, but there is very highly reputable people saying that all three Spider-Men will be in Spider-Man 3.
All three meaning Toby and
Garfield
Garfield.
and Tom Holland, all three of them.
I mean, that'd be pretty neat.
I'd be okay
Isn't
with that.
Toby like old now?
Yeah, but you can have old Spider-Man.
Is he
You
gonna be
remember
like
the animated Spider-Man movie?
Yeah, is he
with
gonna
the
be
old
Peter-
Spider-Man?
Peter B. Parker from Spider-Verse?
Oh my god.
Just
Okay.
old and defeated.
To talk about a movie that I adore, and if we do a top 3 movies, this is just a spoiler for any time we decide to do that. But Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is one of my top 3 movies of all time.
Really?
I
It's
love
quality,
the animation that
Oh, yeah.
wins the movie, the story of that movie. I own the movie and I've seen it 5 times
Peter
I like
on my
how-
Parker.
own.
I like how
Peter
Kingpin
Porker.
is basically just a cube.
Yes.
He's so big.
He's
Like,
a
he
boulder.
comes out
He's
of a
he's
limo and he's-
groveler.
Like he comes out of a limo and he's like bigger than the limo.
I
He
know.
inflates like a mattress.
I remember seeing that as like just a preview clip, and I was like, my god,
I
this
don't.
man is
I-
huge.
I can actually, and this is going to be become a podcast topic now because I can go into that much depth on like I have watched multiple YouTube videos on like the composure of the music, the way they built it, like all these things. There's so much detail in that movie that I adore. How much it was like, it was almost like a passion project for those animators, honestly.
Really?
Would a top 3 or 5 or whatever? Could you like condense a whole series into that, or do you have to pick one specific title?
I would say you're allowed to put a top, but then you have to pick like a preferred, like the one you would watch over and over and over again of all. of them.
Okay. Okay.
So you're allowed to condense it for the sake of condensing, but then state which is like the preferred.
Because there's a certain 3 movies that I would want to put all of them up there, but if I can just have them all, then that would work out.
We could have also like
3 movies.
another fun topic could be like our top 5 games.
Once again, all these will be in future podcasts. We have, I mean, I'm planning on doing this podcast for as long as you guys are still for doing podcasts. So
Right, and that's why I
plan on
didn't say
doing
what that was. My movie was for spoilers.
yeah,
Oh,
you need to let us know when you need to let us know in the general tab because I'm now really curious and it's gonna drive me crazy forever.
I can't spoil it, man.
Fair enough. So I have another movie quote. I don't know how much time we have left, but
You keep on going. We got a bit of
Okay.
time.
I've still
So
got mine too as well.
there's one word in this movie quote that I can't say for many reasons. But let's see if you
Okay.
can get it just from what I say. I count 6 shots. I count 2 guns.
You feeling lucky, punk? Is that what that is?
No.
No, it's not that. I know what you're talking about, though.
Yep.
Oh man, this is as bad as Corellia's with X-Men. Oh my goodness.
Like I refuse to put the last word in.
Is it a swear word?
What you
Samuel
call it?
Jackson, I'm pretty sure, says it.
Samuel Jackson says the first part.
Yeah,
I count 6 shots.
It's
Count 2
not
guns.
it's not Pulp Fiction, I don't think. Or is it? Is it Pulp
Same
Fiction?
director.
Same director.
Is it Sin City? Was he in
It's
Sin
Django
City?
Unchained.
Ah,
Yes, I know what you. Yes.
Yeah.
I count 2 guns. Like
I actually haven't seen that one
I know what
either.
that word is.
Yeah, like there
Yeah.
is no way in hell I'm gonna be
Yeah.
saying that word.
Yeah.
But like
yeah.
I love that
That's-
movie. Like that quote has to be like the
Oh.
best flex in the entire movie. He's like, haha,
I-
you have no bullets. Multiple guns.
I do have a good Samuel L. Jackson quote. John, may I be allowed one swear word?
I can bleep it afterwards, I guess.
Okay. Does Marcellus Wallace look like a bitch?
Yes. I
What's
thought you
that
were just gonna
from?
say. I thought you were just gonna say Samuel Jackson's like catchphrase.
Yeah, honestly, I was expecting the mother bleep.
Oh, well, in that case.
No,
English mother-
no.
Do you speak
No,
it?
no. I don't want to have to go and try to bleep the whole thing.
So many bleeps.
You say Samuel Jackson, I already know I need to put like 5 minutes worth of bleep in because goodness gracious, that man has only one phrase that he can say that everyone like he's the only person I know allowed to say the MF word and it's in a compliment to you.
Yeah, Samuel Jackson.
Yeah.
I gotta just say, he's just a legend in the movie industry.
Oh, yeah.
He
Just
asked for a purple lightsaber and they gave him a purple lightsaber.
You gotta respect
He,
it.
he rode in the purple lightsabers just for him.
Like the dude has more power than you could ever imagine.
He legitimately went up to Lucas and he was like, "So what do we get to pick out lightsaber colors?" And he was like, "Oh well, good guys are blue and bad guys are red." He was like, well, "What about purple lightsaber?" He was like, "Huh, yeah, well, we can think about it."
It's not how it normally works. Purple. Okay.
Like you
Purple
can't
is-
deny Samuel Jackson.
It's Samuel Jackson. You
yeah,
don't say no.
Also,
Yeah,
also, the man's a fan of anime, and I love that.
oh yeah, that video.
Yeah, he's on the Wired autocomplete interview things, and he's like, someone says, "Do you like anime?" He's like, "Yeah, I like anime, and hentai too."
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
Little boys and girls don't watch that.
Children don't listen to us, and if they do, you shouldn't be listening to us. Go home.
You should be listening to a podcast of more inspirational folks.
Like, go listen to.
Hey, don't sell us
Better
too
people.
short, please. I'm
Hey,
trying to reach
listen,
anything.
I'm not saying we're not great people, but if we're talking,
I'm just saying
like, a
children
list of
should not be listening to us.
inspirations, like if we're talking like a list of inspirations, I'm probably not even in the top 25%.
You inspire me, friend.
But it's
Do I
okay.
inspire
So
you?
there's plenty of creators out there though on like Twitch and other stuff that like I would consider myself a little bit higher quality of a person to a certain degree that kids watch. So saying
Fortnite
kids should not
players?
watch us, I would prefer them watch me. Not even like, not a big deal. If you don't care about whatever I say, that's fine. Do what you want. But at the same time, there's a lot of crap out there that people watch. So I'm like, why? So please don't
Okay.
sell this podcast short of what it could be.
Okay, that's a fair argument. Yeah, okay, if kids watch us and they enjoy our voices, then I welcome all people.
Yeah.
Thank
Just
you.
don't
That's all I'm
listen to
asking.
just don't listen to the words we're saying at this point in time.
Yeah, no, it's I'm bleeping for a reason.
Use us as white noise.
Yeah.
Gosh. Everything that Jordan and Ben just said post edit is all bleep.
Just use our voices for what one of my work friends uses my stream for. Sleep aid. Yeah, he wants me to fall asleep and I hate him for it. But it's a view's a view, man. A view's a view.
If it works, it works.
A view
Yep.
is a view is a view is a view.
some people have careers in making like ways people fall asleep. That's their like meditation and things. That's one of your career paths, Jordan. You help people fall asleep.
Maybe you just have that
True.
voice where it's like super soothing.
That's my physics
Darn right, my
professor
voice is
from
soothing,
college.
like butter.
Wait, Shane, who was that guy from who was the guy from How I Met Your Mother? Stan, that was his name. In one of the episodes of How I Met Your Mother, they were messing around with Ted, and then this one guy named Stan who had the deepest voice ever. Like he was like some night security officer in the show that had like a one-time appearance, and the dude had like the softest, lowest voice in the whole world. Like there's not a lot of things I would change about my body, but if I could get like a milky smooth voice, like I'd trade it in.
We want to talk about like we're saying movie quotes, but like man, voices. Morgan Freeman.
Yes.
What about
Like
what about the guy from Breaking Bad? The really big guy. I think his name is Huey.
Huel.
Huel, yeah. Huel, you happy? Reasonably.
I think and if he had the right movies to be in, Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Yes.
can see it. He's got a
Liam
pretty
Neeson is a fantastic actor, fantastic voice. It's like, I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. I will find you.
When he
We'll
did
kill you.
Taken, oh my god.
Like,
yeah, like
ooh, he's good. He's very
Just-
good.
So good that they made extra movies when they shouldn't have, probably.
I
Yeah.
mean, yes,
I-
but it's him, so like I still watch to a certain degree, and even if they're not great movies, he's still a good actor.
which I feel like a good way to determine the value of your voice is go into like apply for a voice acting job where you just like voice a random character in a video game. Because like if you get in, you have a decent voice.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
but
if
also
we're talking
which
about good
character you
voices
get
and stuff,
voice acted as.
Oh yeah, voice acting, that's the word.
Lance Reddick. And in case you need to be reminded of who he is, if you've seen John Wick, he's the guy at the counter of the hotel.
Mr. Week.
That dude has a amazing voice.
Also, if you've ever
So
seen the
clean.
comedy sketch Toys R Me, he's the main guy in that. And his monologue in that's amazing. If you haven't seen it, Google it, look it up. It's funny. Unless you're a child, don't watch it. It's a bit. He uses some language that's not okay for kids. But yeah, Lance Reddick, beautiful voice. Also, Commander Zavala, who actually,
Alright.
now that I think that, he might also be Lance Reddick.
Didn't you introduce Zavala to me as Daddy Zuzu?
Yes.
Yes.
Daddy's.
Yes.
Yeah, just wanted to know if that was a fever dream or not.
No,
No,
that's
sadly, no. That was not
If-
not a fever dream, my friend.
if Jordan still
Okay.
had the streams, it was a joke. It was a joke that we just affectionately called him that for a while / forever.
Daddy
Sure.
Boo Boo.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. On to that note, that'll do. Pig.
Okay, yeah,
That'll do.
It is Lance Reddick is Commander Zavala in Destiny.
So,
There is one more
we-
voice actor though that is just truly iconic.
all right,
Steve Bloom,
give us what he's done.
Starscream, Cobra Commander.
Okay,
I know one
So-
that's more iconic to me and probably a lot of people.
All
Well,
right,
Kevin Conroy.
Kevin
Okay.
Conroy.
I'm actually kind of
Who's
curious.
done what?
He's Batman.
Oh,
Oh wait,
Mark
wait.
Hamill. Mark
there we
Hamill
go.
as Joker forever. The best Joker.
So okay, this might seem weird, but have any of you played the Cuphead game before?
No,
No.
not yet.
Okay, so there's a song in that game. I just sent it in the Discord. So I don't know why, but this voice is smooth like butter. Like this person just sings wonderfully. Like listen to just a couple seconds of this, just to like get a taste of it, and then I'm gonna drop a bomb.
All right, hold up. Let me listen to it.
So just we need to be wrapping up here soon-ish.
Oh yeah, I get you.
We're coming.
I get you.
So
I guess we could skip.
we're basically finishing up with movie quotes and all that. We all have favorite movie quotes. I think everyone has favorite movie quotes. If you're watching on YouTube, please feel free to leave a comment of your favorite movie quote. And I mean, we can always come back to this in the future if there's more that we want to talk about. I just wanted to close out this episode. There was one last topic of just general things to talk about, and we're kind of short on time, but let's just go through real quick. what's everyone? What this next week is coming up for you? What's going on, and kind of what people can look at if they listen to this podcast, and next week what they could be watching. So, Shane, you want to start us off?
Sure. I just got the game Pumpkin Jack today. I just also streamed it for about 3 hours. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I don't expect it to be that long of a game, so it might just be like 1 or 2 more streams, honestly. But yeah, I'm planning on playing that as soon as I can again.
Okay.
And
Ben, go
also,
ahead.
my Twitch channel is twitch.tv/Smither, but SMITHYR is how it's spelled.
All right, Ben.
I am going to be streaming one of my friends. He made his own ROM hack version of Fire Red, so I'm going to be playing through that. But apparently, it's been made to where all the trainers have really good teams and are very intelligent. And my Twitch is going to be twitch.tv Maximilian596.
And we're gonna link the Twitch channels in the description, right?
Yeah, I'll try to link everything to the best of my ability.
Oh,
on all those
dang.
things.
I get a free shameless plug. This is great.
Yeah, no, that's
There you go.
welcome to the podcast. I'm trying to help out.
Plug it up, friend.
I'll
All right,
probably
Jordan.
be streaming a little after today.
What will you be doing this week?
I've been playing through the Fear franchise this past little bit, and
Get
if
the
we can
Halloween
get
spirit.
it work, Shannon and I are playing through Dead Space 3.
It's
Okay.
not working very well though.
And normally I just stream whatever fits my fancy. Over at twitch.tv/Jarl Davokin. That's JRL_DAVOHKIIN. Just click the link. Don't try and spell it.
It's for
Yeah,
the best.
it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
All right, Corellia, how about you?
I'll be streaming some World of Warships more than likely this weekend, rest of the weekend, and throughout the week, and you'll see me and Jarl here blowing people up with
With boats.
Cyberus. Yes,
Yep.
and then I'm also going to probably be streaming some Among Us, so anybody who wants to join in,
I'm
you
up
know,
for
Oh,
come,
you
come
know
view-
I'm up.
come view the stream, and we can get some, audience members involved.
Yeah,
we could that would be fun as a commute stream.
Absolutely.
Commute.
If
I
you
don't
want
know
more
the
people
word.
to play the game
Community
and all,
stream?
I'm always down. I love Among Us. I'll be streaming World of Warships with Corellia this next week, I'm sure, since it's a game I've started getting into. What I want to stream is a bunch of games that are a bit more AAA level. So unfortunately, until I get my new setup coming this November, I'm not really going to be doing a whole lot of insane game streaming. But in the future, I hope to be doing some 3D model streaming, where I work on a 3D model and developing a sword from a favorite anime or something like that, or also just playing games like Call of Duty or Destiny 2's new expansion.
For those 3D modeling streams, it'd be cool if you made a time-lapse video out of them.
I plan on it.
Cool.
I need to figure out how to do a time lapse for that, but I'm gonna try.
And more than likely, all of us at one point will probably be streaming Titanfall as well.
Yes, that's probably all. I can't stream it. I'm still not capable of that stuff, but you can pick it up on any of these other guys' channels, and I'll try to link everything as best as I can. And then the last little detail, future topics we'll be covering. So I mean, I think we all are pretty comfortable in trying to come up with our favorite movies. So maybe next week we'll talk about that. And then also we'll be talking about the things that are coming up this year with Black Friday and all the craziness goes along with a consumerist holiday that is in the midst of a pandemic. And so there's a whole lot of craziness going on there, and I hope you look forward to hearing that next stream podcast as it comes out. In the meantime, you now know in the description where to watch all of us, and I think that's time for us to close out. So thanks, Corellia, Jordan, and Ben for coming on. Thank you, Shane, for co-hosting with me. And just with that, farewell and have a great night, everyone.
Have a good one, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.